So, news broke that a lot of people were upset with Jeannie Mai once again because, well, technically, she ain't really say shit. All the girl said was, basically, Jeezy speaks the South to the baby, and sometimes when the baby goes to visit Jeannie's relatives, they speak of Vietnamese. How do you say that word to them? Basically, her family heritage stuff, language. Okay, a big deal. Whoop de woo, big deal. The lady ain't say nothing wrong. I think the bottom line is why people don't like Jeannie. I think the bottom line is they pissed off that Jeezy went and got somebody of her descent and not a sister. I'm just gonna call it what it is over here. I think y'all just pissed that he not with a sister. Okay? Um, and let me tell y'all something, like I had somebody tell me once. You know, um, for the most part, I always see you with a Caucasian guy. Let me tell you something. I told y'all before, I have talked to black guys before. Okay. I don't discriminate. I told y'all before, I used to go for looks. Um, he got a low cut. He got wavy hair, And when I used to do that, I used to get my feelings hurt. You know, I had to learn that it's not about the color of somebody's skin. It's not about if he's tall, if he's short, if he's fat, if he's skinny. It's about how he treats you, how he makes you feel. If you feel protected when you with him, if he treats you like a lady, it's not about looks these days. Jeezy settled down with who made him happy. That's the bottom line. Who made him comfortable? He has said in an interview before when he was with Jeannie, he felt like she took him outside of his element. Meaning, most likely, he felt a feeling with her that nobody else had made him feel. That's what it's all about. It's about being with someone that you feel like me personally. I want to be with a guy that I feel like, I just can be myself around as far as, I told y'all growing up, I always had to be guarded because, I told y'all about, I used to fight a lot and things like that. I want to be with someone that I don't have to be big dog around. That makes sense. Like, I don't have to be, like I told y'all, I never been in a real bad relationship, but I have encountered people in my lifetime that I always had to be big dog around. I wanted when I my next when I tell y'all, okay, I told y'all about the time when I was in a Chinese restaurant and the black guy spit in my face. I told y'all about the time when I was on a road rage and the black guy spit. He was spitting like he did one. Like I told y'all, like, and neither one of these guys were bad looking guys. You see what I'm saying? Neither one of them. The one on the road looked like he was kind of rough. The one in the Chinese place, he didn't look like a bad looking guy, but he was a monster, clearly. You see what I'm saying? So when I say looks are not everything. Because the one in the Chinese restaurant, he was clean cut. You see what I'm saying? But he was a monster in disguise. It goes to show looks are not everything. These days, people are getting with who makes them happy. Okay, you can meet people or encounter people just like I did, restaurant, Chinese restaurant, road. Hell, you can meet them in the park. I don't care where you're at. We see all the time good looking people on the news. You see what I'm saying? Committing horrific crimes. These days, people are getting with who makes them happy. Okay, all that he cute, he this, he that, he got that look going on by himself. These days, and if you a dummy if you getting with someone just because, you know, um the looks. I don't care if you a man or a woman. If you a man getting with a woman just because she got a shape, that's on you. And then when she don't cook, she don't clean and none of that other shit, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? If you a woman getting with a man just because he look good, I'm here to tell you, it's some guys out here that will disappoint you, you know, and you're gonna get your feelings hurt. All right, that look shit. And for the people out there, the Dr. Umars of the world or whatever, the ones that say, we need to, black love this, black love that. Okay, all that's good and dandy when it does happen, but you know, sometimes you can't keep it all in a race. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can't. It's about who makes you feel whole. It's about that. I told y'all, I don't discriminate. It's all about, as long as he know how to treat me, he not gonna be perfect. I'm not gonna be perfect. But, it's about, I told the guy the other day when he tried to, talk to me, the black guy. I told him, he said, why he said he always try to figure out why am I single. He just cannot figure that part out. And I told him, because I'm looking for my soulmate. I'm just, like I told him, let me finish my master's degree. And then, I have to actually start it and then, finish it. And then if it's meant to be, it'll be. Because right now I don't need no distractions. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like this. If unless you my soulmate, you don't really have anything to say to me. And he shut right on up. Okay? You gotta come correct. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not perfect. It's gonna be shit about me that my soulmate, wherever he is in the world, it's gonna be shit about me that he not gonna be able to can't he just can't stand. He can't wrap his head around. It may get on his everlasting nerves. Okay, but it's gonna be shit about me. He gonna love, babe. He gonna love, okay? And it's gonna be shit about him that I can't stand. But you better bet I'm gonna treat him like a king. These days people getting with who make them happy. Okay, ain't nobody for that BS. A lot of y'all just don't know how to treat women. Y'all swell up on women. Y'all spit on women. Y'all fight a woman. Y'all pow pow on a woman. It's people. And if you're a woman that'll stick with a guy that'll do all that to you, or even give a guy a chance, that'll even say something out his face like that, or do something like that. I mean, hey. I heard the stories all the time about women saying they would stick with these guys after they to put their hands on them, and well, he said he'll change and he'll, girl. Anyway, well, that's a conversation for another day. These days, uh. Like I told y'all, I never been in a real bad relationship. My last relationship, it wasn't perfect, but I never really, I heard other people's stories and the things that they done been through. I pray that I never have to go through those things, but, you know, um, I have encountered, I told y'all, I have encountered some gorillas. That, I mean, like, as far as behavior, okay? And, I pray that, my soulmate, I don't have to be so guarded with him. I don't have to, I'm ready to step into my soft girl lifestyle. I'm tired of being big dog. I'm tired of that. I told y'all, when that guy spit in my face, I spit back at him. I had to pick up chairs. I was throwing it at him. I met up with him in traffic and slammed my truck into his 2 times. Not once, but twice. So yeah, y'all. Jeannie did not say nothing wrong. I think people need to get off her COCK. Okay. Um, she didn't say nothing wrong. It just, like, I just gave y'all 2 examples of how, you know, with the Chinese restaurant and the road rage. I just gave y'all 2 examples of how, looks are not everything. Looks are not everything. You can encounter a person, and just because they may not look ugly, or may look halfway decent, that don't mean they worth your time. That don't mean they a good person. That don't mean they a good dude. Okay, looks are not everything. People, y'all could hear me talk about people need to date inside their race and all this other mess. Okay, and they will if the person is worth their time. People not we this I understand our history. I understand who our oppressors were, but then we got to keep in mind, just because they were our oppressors don't mean the person that we're going to end up with was necessarily related to our oppressors. Keep that in mind, okay? Um, keyword. I hope you caught that. That does not mean that, you know, get with somebody that knows how to treat you. Just knows how to, you know, let me give you an example. My ex, right? When he would get mad at me, like I'm gonna tell you how I knew our relationship was almost over. When he would start getting mad at me, he would say he was a Virgo, so he was very passive aggressive. So he would say, well, what the F he say that time? He said, he would start saying stuff like, um, I stopped caring about your feelings. I don't want to be with somebody that when he gets mad at me, he says he stopped caring about my feelings. You are to always care about how you make me feel at all times. What do you mean you stop caring about my feelings? You are to always care about my feelings, whether we together or not. Because that means if you stop caring about my feelings, you were never sincere from the jump. Okay? Um, Especially considering the fact we were friends before we even started dating. Okay, so that means even after it didn't work out, you still should have cared. You see what I'm saying? So that told me right then it was never genuine. You get what I'm saying? So my next relationship, it has to be, I can't describe it. It has to be something that is just, I can't even describe it. It has to be on a whole nother deep level. Like it goes beyond, of course it goes beyond sex, but it has to be like on a deep level. Like I can't even describe it. Like it has to be something I can't even describe it. You get what I'm saying? And when I say that to him, the type of dude that he'll be, he'll understand what I'm talking about. Like I just can't even. Anyway, nonetheless. But yeah, people, look, we getting with who makes us happy these days. Later for the BS, okay? Bottom line is y'all don't like Jeannie because Jeezy with her. That y'all feel like he should be with his sister, and that's how I feel. Oh yeah, and by the way, I don't blame Jeannie and Jeezy for being very picky when they had their wedding with who they, invited. Um, I think Jeannie probably knows that, she is not everyone's favorite. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes I know even for me, right? You know, even for me, when I know that, let's say, for example, a particular person or even a particular group of people have gave me a hard time in the past, you think I'm about to share my special moment with them? No. No. You see what I'm saying? Of course not. Like, I give you an example. Even when I had graduated high school, the church that I was attending at, that particular time, um, it was a couple of members there that, like, you know how they may have like the high school ceremonies or whatever, and the pastor may had a degree in his hand, or the diploma, whatever. And one particular person, she used to give me a hard time growing up. I told you I used to dress provocative once upon a time. And when I let one lady see my diploma, and mind you, the other lady was standing right there. So she was like, let me see it. And she tried to snatch it out my hand, y'all. And we was having a little tug of war with my damn diploma. And I said, no, because you told me I'll never get it. No, no, I don't even want your spirit touching my diploma. No, you know. And she said, fine. And she, how somebody jerk it back in your hand, like, pushing it back in your hand. Don't know. No, I don't want your spirit on my diploma. The diploma that you said I would never get. When people give you a hard time, you don't want them sharing your special moment with you. And deep down, and people can say what they want to say. Oh, I wish them all the best, and I'm glad they're together and stuff, or whatever the case may be. Just because the MF wishes somebody the best doesn't mean they're being sincere. Hell, I don't even care if they say from the bottom of their heart. People lie. People lie. Jeannie ain't stupid. She know what time it is. I don't blame them for being picky with who they had at their wedding. I don't blame them for moments like this. The girl say one thing wrong, y'all ready to jump down the throat. Phony. Just phony. But one minute y'all say y'all for, and next minute y'all against her. Y'all phony as hell. But that's all.